it was kind of shitty. Actually, we didn't do well.
Right, but we're back now to tournament style, right down, your bread and butter where we're at, and we're a week before the Masters, correct? The Masters are next week. Yeah,
100%. I can't wait. I tell you, I'm so ready for the Masters. I live right down the road from it, and looking forward to it.
So this week's also in Texas. People didn't have to travel far. You look real quick at the, who's in. You see a lot of the top golfers playing this week, sort of as a prep for the Masters. What do you think, and what do you look for in this course this week?
It's one of these courses that these guys like to play. The greens mirror Augusta quite a bit.
Fast this week, I heard, in Augusta. They're playing the young guys there. They said the greens were real fast.
Yeah, they always are. On the stand, they're going to be way up there. Houston, a lot of these guys, Mickelson will be there. There'll be a lot of guys there. The big fear you have to have with this week's tournament is if some of these big name guys, or anybody for that matter, if they're not right up there within top 15, top 20, or around that cut line, they're going to pack it in.
Right.
They're going to get their ass out to Augusta and, start practicing.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of got to be, it's a tough week, but I think we got a couple circles that I think are going to play really well. I was really hoping a couple guys I was looking at were going to play this week, and they're not. But we've got some circles. I think we're going to have a really good week. We usually do. That match play thing hurt, but I think I'm glad it's over with, but now we're going to move on now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely different type of golf. You didn't see the best players win, period, let alone, when you try to handicap it, it's tough. But I agree with you. So as far as matchups, would you suggest, because like you said, if, guys sort of aren't in it after first or second rounds, are you doing full tournament matchups, or are you suggesting round to round, or both, or what?
I went back to the way I've always done things. I really felt like I kind of pushed it in the match play, trying to give guys more plays than what anybody that's with me knows I'm not a high volume guy. I think I just played too much, and I just got out of my element. I went back to what I do. I got 2 client plays this week for the entire tournament on head-to-head. Mm-hmm. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch round 1. And then I'm not even going to have a round 1 matchup. And then round 2, if I can find something I like, we're going to have 1 or 2 on round 2. And that's where we're going to go back to doing, things we always do. That match play thing was just, got me out of my element.
Sure.
And I kind of got a little, got flustered. Got, 1 up 4-2, and then, just not what I do. I'm just going to go back to do the way things I do. Right now I got 2 head-to-heads for the matchups. I got 4 top 10s out. And I'm going to release a couple for winners that I think, good shot at winning this week. Spieth is a heavy favorite this week again. And
it's ridiculous.
It doesn't even, could the guy win? Yeah, he can win any week. But the thing is, I think he's 6-1. The next closest guy, I think, is 10 or 11-1. It's crazy.
Well, let me tell you, because I'll tell you, Spieth, I don't know how much his head's going to be in it this week. He was at Augusta yesterday for those. They have the drive putt chip competition with the kids. He was there, sort of shaking hands, doing his thing in Augusta yesterday. I don't know how much his head's going to be in it this week. I obviously wouldn't take a shot at only 6.5 to 1, but something to think about. He could be a type that, if he's 7 or 8 shots off going into the weekend, you could see him pack it in.
Another one he's in good form, and if he's not up top, and I want to take a shot at him, but is Oosthuizen. But I'm afraid if he's not around, he's gonna bail.
Yeah, I took a shot on Oosthuizen to win the thing last week from the beginning. I had great odds on him, 20-1. He made it all the way, but unfortunately didn't cash. But he looked good. The Bello looked good too. He's
a damn good. He's been around forever, and people don't know about him. He's on the Euro Tour, and that guy can flat out play.
Yeah, he's good. I know.
I think he right now
66-1.
60-1 this week.
Yeah, 66-1. I'm sure the top 10 pays well too, but he was looking good until the end. The putting sort of hurt him, but he played a couple solid rounds of golf there where he was winning with birdies, not just pars. So that was telling me a lot. on that course. What do you think about one person I wanted to ask you about this week? Because I know you were on him a few weeks ago. I'm not sure if Smiley Kaufman's playing this week, but I was gonna.
I'll tell you, I'll go ahead and throw a couple names out there.
Sure.
I got a little bit on these top tens. I got Kevin Chappell, been playing very well. Just can't cross the finish line, but you can get him at 5.5 to 1 on the top 10.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not bad. Patrick Reed's another one, and if you watch the match,
man, he looked good, right?
He just ran into a buzzsaw.
Yeah.
But he destroyed Mickelson.
Yeah, he did.
I don't think he lost a damn hole for a while.
I think, what did he win, that 7-6 or something?
Yeah, he demolished.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And he's somebody to look at this week.
Mm-hmm.
Top 10 doesn't pay much, but I think, at plus 240.
Oh, that's worth it.
I think it's worth a couple bucks.
Sure.
Another guy who's won out there, and he's been playing decent, not great, is Matt Jones.
Matt Jones, yes. I know you like him a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and of course I always throw in Tringale in there. Tringale, he's 7 to 1 top 10.
Okay.
That's another one. It's a tough week just because of the Masters are coming up, and that's a lot of them guys are already in Augusta. I mean,
yep.
Jason Day flies in tomorrow, and he'll start playing tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you just got to be careful because it could very well be. It could be a week where a guy like Tony Finau come up. He won the Puerto Rican Open last week. He could end up, and he can, flat out kill the ball. He could end up winning.
Sure.
If he jumps these guys.
So maybe a good week to throw a couple bucks around on some big long shots that have been playing well lately. Maybe at like 60, 70 to 1. See what happens. Wait for this weekend. Wait to see who the top 20 guys are. Look at those matchups. Hit them hard on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, that's a good thing. 5 Dimes will give you that option. That's why I play there so much. They'll give you that option round to round.
Yep.
One more guy that this time of year is in decent form, and I think he'll play well. And I'm not saying he's going to win the tournament by any means, but Gary Woodland, I think, will have a decent tournament.
Okay.
And I think he's like 100 to 1 to win. But I think he will. I'm not by any means saying he's going to win, but
sure.
I think he's worth a shot at top 10. It's just a couple bucks. All these. You look at you throw $5 on the guy to win, it's 500.
500.
Is he going to win? I don't know, but if he's in good form, I think he's got a damn good shot.
Sure, absolutely.
Kevin Chappell, he's up at the top of the leaderboard all year long. He's 65 to 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And this could be the week.
Well, this could be the week for one of these guys to come out of, and get their first win.
Right, and for none of the big names to make a big run on the weekend, whereas these guys are sitting at the top first 2 days, but then get surpassed by just a great golfer. You might not see that this week. Good point.
Yep, that's the way I look at it. And then we're gonna wind up for we'll get the Masters coming, and then after that, I'll be at the next tournament. It's right up in Hilton Head. I'll be there for that one, and then the following week we'll have the TPC down in Jacksonville, which is all those tournaments are right here where I'm at, and I'll be going to the latter two. I won't be at the Masters, but it's a great time of year, man, for it right now.
Sounds good, man. Well, I appreciate it as always. Before I let you go, let everybody know where they can find you on Twitter and what you got going for Masters deals or whatnot, or intro deals. Let them know.
I'm doing at Kurt Lauderdale on Twitter, and I'm doing now for the Masters, $49, just to kind of let guys see how it is to bet on golf. That you'll get the whole Shell Houston Open for that. The NHL, which is up really well in the year, and I'm also, I think the NASCAR's in Bristol this week, if I'm not mistaken. I generally do really well on that also.
Sounds good, brother. All right, I appreciate it as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay, buddy. Take care.
All right, bye. Good guy there. I'm not going to bring on some nobody guy that doesn't know what he's talking about on this show that I work hard to do and worked hard to build a fan base around, obviously. I try to bring solid knowledge, and I expect the same from my guests. So he knows what he's talking about when it comes to golf. Check him out. It's well worth the investment. He had a rough week with match play, but I'll tell you, all year He's been doing really well with tournament play, so check him out. But getting back to the Yankees real quick, just to touch on that, and we're not going to go much longer, guys. If you're still out there, holler at me on the chat box. What was the other game? But anyway, Yankees, bottom line, they're too old. They're too volatile. I wouldn't put my money on the Yankees this year whatsoever. Could they get hot? Sure. Early? Yes. Fact is, they're a team maybe, the odds might get smaller as the season goes because they might get hot, whereas a team like the Red Sox that play the toughest schedule in April where they play 29 of their first 31 against teams above 500 that were last year, including like 6 of their first 9 against Toronto. A team like that, if you like them, wait till after April and then bet them because chances are they're going to get off to a rough start. Which brings to the fucking Red Sox. Listen, Pablo, are they going to trade him? Aren't they? What are they going to do? They're talking to San Diego, I'm hearing, right? I'm hearing that what's his name's getting thrown around with trade talks with Pablo. James Shields. James Shields would be the biggest mistake the Red Sox ever made. You're basically getting an older Rick Porcello, a guy that's become a fly ball pitcher, a guy that led the league in home runs allowed last year in the National League West, the best pitchers division in baseball, in Petco Field, the best pitchers park, one of the best pitchers parks in baseball. And yes, you can give me all the bullshit about El Nino and how the park, the weather was completely different in San Diego last year, where at night the wind wasn't coming in, the fog didn't roll in, which always held up the ball. The wind blowing in and the fog made it one of the toughest places to hit the ball out of the park. Wasn't there last year. Home run rate was up. Totals were getting hammered to the over. San Diego was on a tear with overs at home. Do you see that again? I'm not a fucking meteorologist. Bottom line is, you don't want a fucking fly ball pitcher sitting up at Fenway. I don't care if he's had success in the AL East before with Tampa Bay, whatever. He will not fare well at fucking Fenway Park. Not to mention he's coming from the National League and would have to adjust to American League lineups. It's just a fucking mess waiting to happen. And the fact that San Diego's willing to give up one of their top starting pitchers says a lot. To bring in a guy that hasn't produced, that's a red flag as well. But, because the Red Sox are the Red Sox, they get pressured from the media to do something and they just react. Bunch of fucking morons over there. You can tell me how Dave Dombrowski's going to come in here, one of the best general managers ever in the game. I get that. Did a great job in Detroit, great job in Montreal back in the day, blah, blah, blah. But listen, they could have fucking hired an ant this offspring to come in and do what he did. They gave him fucking unlimited funds and said, go out and get us a starting pitcher and a closer. So what did he do? Looked at the fucking top of the list, seen David Price there and Krimble there, and he went out and got them. Not fucking genius at all. So let's fucking relax and pump the fucking brakes on what a great guy this is, all right? You had a good one in Theo Epstein, who's a little overrated, is with the Cubs, laughing at the Sox right now. We've lost 3 out of the last 4 years since he's been gone, with a fucking unbelievable lucky World Series thrown in there, but they finished fucking dead last every other year. They're a mess. With Pablo on that team, with Hanley Ramirez at first, this team is not winning the fucking division. They're not doing anything. They have a bunch of fucking succubuses, not to mention I have to fucking gag myself every fucking third day while David Ortiz makes his farewell fucking tour around the league, and I gotta watch him get fucking maracas from fucking San Diego and fucking Goodyear tires that say Big Papi up in Detroit and some fucking stupid rocking chair in New York and all that bullshit. Meanwhile, they'll be losing. And the only thing that will sell the seats are the fucking fact that, he's on his last leg and you want to see fucking David Ortiz hit again, which he's had a fucking horrible spring in the first place. And then again, that gets me to the fucking tickets. What a ripoff it is to go to a game. First of all, there's a whole fucking scam between ballparks and those those ticket agencies that buy up all the tickets and sell them at a more expensive price. That way, the teams can say they're selling out. That way, they can make their quota, You know, it's just a big fucking scam. They sell them at a cheaper rate. They